So, how the heating is being provided? That is, in general, three methods are commonly employed for winter heating of the air. First method is your hot water or steam coils. Second one is direct fired furnace gases coil. Third one, finned electric strip heating. In hot water coil, boiler are run on light fuel oil. The boiler provide hot water at about 92 degrees centigrade to the heating coil. The water returned to the boiler at about 70 degrees centigrade. Furnace are either oil fired as 75% efficient or gas fired 80 to 85% efficiency. Now the next part is the important one, air washer. Air washer figure is also there. One figure is there for the air washer. I want to show you the figure first. Air washer figure, it is there. How does it work? The schematic representation of an air washer, it involves the flow of air through a spray of water. During the course of flow, the air may be cooled or heated, humidified or dehumidified, or simply adiabatically saturated, depending on the mean surface temperature of the water. The water is accordingly externally cooled or heated or simply recirculated by pump. Makeup water is added for any loss in the case of humidification of the air. Eliminator plates are provided to minimize the loss of water droplet. Now this is the figure of the air washer. This is the main body and air is entering from this side, T1 temperature. Eliminator are there and air is going out, T2 temperature. Now in the bottom we have got the spray tank, we have got the tank in which water is being collected and it is being pumped. Then external heating or cooling depend upon the requirement of the water which is required for the requirement of the air which is to be cooled or heated. Then it is being in that water either externally heated or cooled, then it is sent to the sprayers at the top of the vessel and it is being sprayed and air is allowed to pass through that. The coming out air is being conditioned to the requirement. So this is your completely air washer. Now let us go for the mathematical analysis of that. Shows the thermodynamic changes of state of air along the path 1 2. Along the path 1 2. We have got the TS diagram also, psychrometric chart also for this point 1. Point 1 we have got, if through air washer we can go any of the path we can go. So this is the psychrometric chart for the air washer. Now we will start from point 1 and 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D, 2E, 2F and 2G. These are the various processes through the air washer which has been mentioned over here. So shows the thermodynamic changes of the state of air along the path 1 2 along the path 1 2 and air washer depending on the mean surface temperature of water droplet TS. TS is the water droplet which is dropping, that is the temperature of mean temperature of the water droplets, which is equal to the actual temperature of the TW, water temperature, that is the temperature of the water in the bottom. Now thus the droplet of the water act as wetted surface and both sensible and latent heat transfer take place. Their direction depend on the temperature and vapor pressure potentials. The following process are possible. Pehla process number 1 to A, heating and humidification. Ts is greater than T1. Ts, that is the temperature of the spray, and T1, the water which is coming from the outside, air which is coming from outside. So first part is your Ts is greater than T1. The mean surface temperature of the water is greater than the dry bulb temperature of the air. The water is externally heated. पहला प्रोसेस जो था that was 1 to 2a. This process 1 to 2a. Next process 1 to 2b, humidification. Ts is equal to T1. Ts, that is the temperature of the spray water, and T1, both are equal. Then what happens? Humidification. Then in that case, the mean surface temperature of the water is equal to the dry bulb temperature of the air. The enthalpy of air increases, hence the water is required to be externally heated. इसमें एंथैल्पी ऑफ द एयर इंक्रीज करता है और वाटर जो है वो एक्सटर्नली हीट किया जाता है. थर्ड प्रोसेस 1 to 2c, कूलिंग एंड ह्यूमिडिफिकेशन. T1 dash is less than Ts is less than T1. T1 dash, where is the T1 dash? Let us see. That is the T1 and Ts and TW. T1 dash means that is the air which is going out. I think that one is the air. T1 dash. So cooling and humidification. Let us see on the way to 1 to C. 1 to 2 to C. That is cooling. Cooling is happening because we are going in the reverse direction of the TDS. So cooling is happening, and humidification because we are going upward. So 1 to 2C, humidification and cooling is there. The mean surface temperature of water is less than the dry bulb temperature of air, but greater than the wet bulb temperature of air. Though the air is cooled, its enthalpy increases as a result of humidification. The water is therefore required to be externally heated. Okay. Now the fourth process 1 to 2D, adiabatic saturation process. T1s is equal to Ts. T1s, that is the air which is going out. T1s is equal to Ts. Ts is the temperature of the T1s is, that is the T1s going Ts. Ts means the water which is coming out. So in that case 1 to 2D adiabatic saturation, T1s, T1 dash is equal to Ts. This is the case of pumped recirculation of water without any external heating or cooling, as discussed in section B. The recirculated water reaches the equilibrium temperature, which is equal to the thermodynamic wet bulb temperature of air. Now process 1 to 2E, cooling and humidification. Tt is greater than Ts. Tt is less than Ts is less than T1s. In that case, the process is similar to 1 to 2C, which with the difference that the enthalpy of air decreases in this case. Accordingly, water is required to be externally cooled. Okay, now we will come on the TS diagram. 2D हो गया, 2D हो गया, 2D 2C करीब same, almost they are same, but only the difference is in the enthalpy. Next, this is the range of psychrometric processes with an air washer. Air washer में different ranges होते हैं. Next process 1 to 2F, cooling. That is Ts is equal to Td. Ts is equal to Td. That is your Ts is equal to Td. The temperature of water is equal to the dew point temperature of the air. Water is required to be cooled. Then next process 1 to 2G, cooling and dehumidification. Ts is less than Td. Here what happens? The mean water surface temperature is lower than the dew point temperature of air. air is simultaneously cooled and dehumidified. The process is exactly similar to that of a cooling and humidification coil. Again, the limiting process is along the condition line tangent to the saturation line drawn from the initial stage 1. It is thus seen that the air washer affords means for a year around air conditioning. Year around air conditioning, it gives the hot water also, it gives the cold water also. Consider the energy balance of air washer, the mass balance of which is shown in figure 15.14. 15.14, here it is given over here, mass balance for the air washer. It is entering side, it is going outside. Okay, this is the spray water here, this is the container. Consider the energy balance of the air washer, the mass balance of the which is shown in the figure 15.14. Let MA dash and MW dash be the mass flow rate of the dry air and water respectively. The energy balance gives, अब energy balance कैसे निकालेंगे? MA dash H2 minus H1 is equal to M omega dash or M omega dot CPVW TW3 minus MW डॉट माइनस MA डॉट और फिर ब्रैकेट में ओमेगा 2 माइनस ओमेगा 1 CPW इंटू TW4. From here MA dot H2 minus H1, that will be MW dot CPW TW3 minus TW4 इधर से मिला है प्लस MA dot ओमेगा 2 minus ओमेगा 1 CPW into TW. Neglecting the effect of the temperature of water in the last term, we obtained combination in which the left hand side term, that is MA epsilon MA summation 2 minus summation 1 is equal to MW dot CP TW3 minus TW4. Thus, for any section of the air washer, MA dot D summation delta summation D summation is equal to minus MW CP DW. For the case of the adiabatic saturation process, D summation is 0. Therefore, DTW is equal to 0 and TW3 is equal to TW4 dash. Next, we have got the figure, that is the mass balance of the air washer, how the mass is being balanced. Thus we can make the following conclusion. If the spray water is heated externally to the washer, the wet bulb temperature of air increases. Point number 2. If the spray water is cooled external to the washer, the wet bulb temperature of the air decreases. Point number 3. If the spray water is neither heated nor cooled external to washer, the WBT wet bulb temperature air is not changed. It is an adiabatic saturation process. Now we define the humidifying efficiency of an air washer as, humidifying efficiency क्या होगा? H2 minus H1 divided by HS minus H1. H2 minus H1 divided by HS minus H1, that will be equal to omega 2 minus omega 1 divided by omega S minus omega 1, omega S minus omega 1. It can be seen that bypass factor X can be expressed as, a bypass factor यहाँ भी आ गया. Why bypass factor has come? Because whole of the air will never come in contact with the sprayed water. Some air will certainly bypass the sprayed water, so bypass factor come into the picture. So it can be seen that bypass factor X can be expressed as Ws minus W2 divided by Ws minus W1 is equal to 1 minus W2 minus W1 divided by Ws minus W1 is equal to 1 minus efficiency of heating. Thus, the humidifying efficiency is same as the contact factor. Humidifying efficiency of heating and efficiency of humidification. So in that way, that comes about the air washer. Air washer is very important. Air washer figure is shown over here, that it is being used for heating or cooling of the system. So in that way, air enters, water is sprayed, and this water can be controlled through the external heat cooling system also. If we require more heating, then we send the heated water. If we require cooled water, then we send it cool water. External arrangement is there for the whole system. Okay. Next is your use of hygroscopic. Next is your use of hygroscopic solution in air washer. Hygroscopic means which absorb water. Hygroscopic solutions such as brines, glycol, etc. exert lower vapor pressure as compared to pure water at the same temperature as shown in figure. Okay. The saturation curve A on the psychrometric chart represent the vapor pressure of water. PVA representative vapor pressure curve for the certain hygroscopic solution are shown. In B, C, D, E, etc., the vapor pressure PC, PVC, PVB and PVC, etc. of the solution are lower than the vapor pressure PVA of the water at the same temperature T. Now, if the hygroscopic solution such as C at the temperature T is circulated in the air washer instead of water at the same temperature, the condition line will be 1C instead of 1A for the initial state 1 of the air. Thus, a spray of the hygroscopic solution is more effective dehumidification. The solution, after absorbing moisture, however, becomes dilute and has to be regenerated again by the heating and driving of the water vapor This again we have got the TS diagram, psychrometric diagram, and this is this curves are your relative humidity line. These are the relative humidity line. This is the process which is taking place from A to C and temperature is Ts shown over here. A to P, that is your specific humidity line, and this is your temperature line. Dehumidification of air by hygroscopic solution. Hygroscopic means which absorbs the water. Then adiabatic dehumidifier. What is the adiabatic dehumidifier? Let us see. Adiabatic dehumidifier is based on the principle of adsorption, that is capillary action. The vapor which is considered as the surface of the adsorbent is drawn into capillaries, thereby reducing the vapor pressure at the surface, causing a pressure gradient and hence a mass transfer from the passing air stream to the absorbing surface. As the capillary get filled with water, the attraction decreases and the rate of dehumidification falls off. Thermodynamically, an adsorption process is the reverse of adiabatic saturation process. As the air as the air passes over the adsorption surface, water vapor flows to the surface through the air film, condenses and releases its latent heat, which raises the adsorption and air temperature. Thus, the heat of condensation supplies the sensible heat for the heating of the air. In actual practice, however, the process is accompanied with release of an additional heat called heat of adsorption. Thus, heat with adsorption, such as silica gel and activated alumina, is very large. Thus, the sensible heat gain for air exceeds the loss of the latent heat, and the process line 1 2 lies above the constant wet bulb temperature line. It is to be noted that after adsorption, the material becomes saturated and has to be reactivated by heating, as in the case of hygroscopic solutions. Okay, so this all for today.